Live at 5, a new CDC vaccine advisory panel. They are wrapping up a two-day meeting here in Atlanta. They made new recommendations about this year's flu shots.
That panel was handpicked by U.S. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And Atlanta News First reporter Abby Casores explains.
The Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices finished their two-day meeting here at the Atlanta-based Center for Disease Control. They meet just a few times a year to set the vaccine recommendation schedule. It's the gold standard for doctors to decide who should get vaccinated when and how many doses. The panel of 7 members, all new. Earlier this month, HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy cleaned house, dismissing their 17 predecessors. He called the panel rife with pharmaceutical conflicts. The panel's recommendations will impact what vaccines are covered by insurance, voting to recommend that all flu shots are free of an ingredient called thimerosal that contains roughly 50% mercury. Anti-vaccine groups have falsely tied the preservative to autism.
Fear of mercury is substantial.
You could see one member on the panel exhausted by the discussion. The premise has been debated and debunked repeatedly.
Thimerosal is included in most vaccines that are administered around the globe.
A 20-minute drive away, we visited M.G. Finn's lab. The chemistry professor, whose Georgia Tech graduate students are in the lab running tests. He says he's deeply concerned for the future spread of diseases.
I'm deeply concerned, as I think anyone would be who cares about scientifically valid decision-making in healthcare.
Finn says comments made by the panel perpetuate conspiracy theories, undermining public trust in vaccines, tested time and time again.
The folks you've mentioned have a track record of either being parts of or representing organizations that lie. They lie about medical fact, and one has to ask oneself, why do they do that? Presumably they do it because they get attention and money and power.
The committee voted to approve of the RSV vaccine as well. Those recommendations typically approved by the CDC director, but in this case, the nominee has not been confirmed, so it will be up to Secretary Kennedy. HHS has repeatedly defended the panel picks, calling them some of the most qualified individuals, saying, quote, the new members will ensure that evidence-based medicine, the gold standard of science, and